see some messages talking about problems with Zoom, but for me, it's okay. Thanks God. Okay, we are now live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Good evening. I'm Marcos, and I'm here today with Anderson, Camila, and Pedro. And in this immersion, we are talking about breaking limiting beliefs. How can we identify and overcome mental barriers that hold us back? But before we start, let me give you a quick introduction about Talk and Talk. Talk and Talk is not a school. Talk and Talk, in fact, is a conversation platform developed for beginner, intermediate, and advanced language speakers or language learners. Today, we can practice English, Spanish, French, Italian, and German. And our conversations are designed for all levels, okay? This is not a regular class. In fact, I'm not a teacher. I'm a student too, as well as Anderson, Camila, and Pedro. I'm not here to teach anyone nothing. I'm here to learn together with all the students that are here with us, okay? So I'll introduce myself. As I told you before, my name is Marcos. I'm 48 years old. I live in São Paulo. I'm married. I'm father of 2 teenager girls. They are twins. I'm in the technology field for a while, 30 years by now and counting. I hope counting a bit more yet. I'm here in Talk and Talk since August 2024, 7 to 8 months by now. And I'm leading immersions, hosting immersions since December. Actually, I lead 2 different immersions every week. This one on Thursdays, 6 p.m. and another one on Tuesdays, same time. I'm here looking for my English fluency because one of my professional goals is to work remotely from Brazil to companies in US. So work in environments where speaking English is the norm. Okay? Anderson, please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi there. I'm Anderson. I'm 20 years old. I live in state of Piauí, but I'm from Recife, Pernambuco. I work in IT area. I am a DevOps engineer. I work in a Brazilian company. I am studying in Talk and Talk for 4 months. I am studying English to seek professional growth and master another language. In my free time, I like to watch series, movies. I like to run. That's it about me.
Great, thank you. And you, Camila, please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, guys. My name is Camila. I am 40 years old. I live in São Paulo, in the capital. And I've been here in Talk and Talk since March 24. And I am also an English host here. I am here to improve my English speaking skills, my Spanish too. I'm trying to attend some Spanish immersions. I work as an accountant in an energy company. And my main goal here is to be in touch with the language, to get new vocabulary, and to try to communicate myself in another language. And I guess the only way that make us improve is being in touch with the English every day. So that's all about me.
Okay, thank you. Pedro?
Hello guys, good evening. My name is Pedro. I am 25 years old. I'm from Joatuba, a little city near from Belo Horizonte, capital of Minas Gerais. I'm also a host here in TALKTNTALK. I my immersions happens on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I am the talk just for improve my English skills, principal my speaking and listen, and like Camila says, uh, to have some communicate, have some touch with the language every day because it's really important because it's not just about studying grammar and that things you have to make a touch with the language, understand the different vocabularies, different contents, and I believe like Talk is a perfect for my goals. That is about myself, guys.
Great, guys. Thank you. Okay. Let's start our immersion, our conversation. Question number one is, what's a belief you used to have about yourself that you don't know, that you no longer believe? Camila, can you
I will try.
give your thoughts?
It's a
Tough
difficult
question.
question. Yes, it is. I guess in my family, I can see a lot of beliefs. I know that sometimes we grow up in the environment and we cannot go outside of this
Yep.
kind of behavior. But I think maybe, in my opinion, I need to work in the same company for the rest of my life. This is something that my family believes, and this is something that I change during my career. I just tried something different. I work from private companies, and then I don't need to be there to have a great career or to, I don't know, to learn or to be good in something. So when I worked for the same company for more than 10 years, and when I decided to quit, my mom was really upset with me because, oh, why are you doing this kind of thing? So I guess this could be just an example, a simple example about beliefs that I just can't remember right now. But I guess this is one that I can remember right now.
Great, thank you. Yes, the environment influences us a lot.
Yeah.
The environment where we were raised defines tons of characteristics. Then we have to treat them in some therapy or some cold beer. We can sometimes, or both,
Or immersions, maybe.
or immersions, maybe. Yes, great. And you, Pedro?
So, guys, I am thinking here about some beliefs. I don't have like a concrete one that I perceive it, but like about this topic therapy, I believe like trust myself is some belief that I don't had too much in myself. Like I remember when I was employee after before I finished my graduation, and I believe like, oh my god, yeah, I had a good job, but I finished my graduation and now I don't find any job like that I want, and things like that, like about myself, like my abilities with my area. But when I try to trust myself, like you are you are capable for do what you do and things like that. And when I changed this mindset, I got more interviews, I got more opportunities, and now I am in some job that I find like I have a paper, important paper, and I'm doing a good job. That's some example that I can share with you guys.
Great, Pedro, thank you. And you, Anderson?
Well, I had the belief that I would not be able to success in my career in IT area because I had a lot of difficult at the beginning of my degree. I have degree in computer engineer.
He's froze, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I was afraid that my connection.
Okay, if he came up again, I stop. I'm thinking here about
Hello,
my hello, Anderson.
hello. I am back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I I am speaking about my belief is because my difficult my degree during my degree in my career. Uh, that's it.
Great guy. Yes, sometimes we have this beliefs or these doubts about our abilities, our capacity to be successful in our career, in our projects. That
Yes,
is
yes,
that is the kind of belief I had about myself. I never saw myself as a salesperson, but in two different opportunities, I had to be a successful salesperson to bring food to my home. In 2006, 2005, 2006, I was living in Brasilia, had no project, and probably if I had no project in, if I don't find any project in Brasilia, I probably should find a new job, a new project in São Paulo or Rio. And yes, someone in my network get in contact with me to take some doubts about a specific technology I was talking about at that moment. And yes, I sold a project. That was the first time I acted as a salesperson. But even in this, at the final of this conversation or this deal, I didn't believe in me as a salesperson. A few years later, and I saw myself again in the situation of I was again without a new project in Brasilia. It was a difficult time between elections, different elections. There were no projects, no jobs. So my wife suggested us to start a small business selling clothes. She had the idea. She she had the creative ideas, and I was deal with the daily routines. So I told her, "Well, Mara, I am not a salesperson." Yes, but you have to be, because if you don't do this, again, you will need to find job in another state. Okay, so we started our business, and yes, the first customer that come to the shop, I looked to my wife, she was there, and asked her assistance to get in contact with that customer. I had no idea how to approach a customer in that situation, how I could, which kind of small talk should I use? What should I offer? What should I ask? But a few months later, I was there in our main public was women. We were specialized in selling. I don't know how to say this. Women's clothes. So for sure, 95% of our public was women, and I was there a few months later in the middle of the shop selling and bringing money and bringing food to my house. So actually, I can see myself as a salesperson if I need to. I like to do this. No, I don't like to do this. But in fact, we are all salespersons. When we are giving a report about a project, when we are giving a status about a task, in fact, we are selling. We are selling ourselves as good professionals, as problem solvers. So yes, actually, I don't believe anymore as myself as someone who can be a salesperson. Okay, question number 2, guys. How can we identify thoughts that are limiting our potential? Pedro.
All right. I believe like sometimes that could be difficult because sometimes we have some beliefs in our minds and we don't perceive like that is limiting us. And sometimes had to be other people, someone that should told you like, oh, I am perceiving you thinking this way. If you change your mind, that could be improve you because sometimes it's something more internal of us and we don't perceive that. Like for example, I said about like about don't trust myself. I had to perceive that like if I had this feeling, if I had this that that will limitate myself. And you said about sales, like I am a more introspective person, and even now I working a good job. I'm not working like in my principal area. I am working directly with business, like in the bank, and I had to approach the people and sell some products. And for me, the first time that I had to attend some clients was are limited because I'm saying like, oh my god, they will not be capable like to understand the problems, the client's problems, and I don't know how I can sell some products. With time, I remember when I sell my first security life and my first investment, and I feel very happy because like I could recommend for the for the client like the best options, and I feel more trust in myself like to understand, and I believe like sometimes it's important not just it's important to talk with other people like to give you feedbacks to understand like because sometimes you can have like some feelings that limit you, and try to study yourself like you have some moments you and they try to make a map like why my life is this time, what I want to change, what's my goals, and I believe like it's very important. I know you are a PM and you know more than me like it's important to remap like some points of our lives and try to make some changes to have some purpose on our lives.
Great, yes. You are correct. That is important. And you, Anderson?
This is a good point. I think this is important is observing your thoughts and working on them. In some case, therapy can be valuable tools for this process. for you recognize, for you help in self-acknowledgement. I think this is important, the attention and the get help, professional help in some case.
Great. Let's pay attention what we are feeling. What are kind of feelings that thoughts are giving us, are
Yeah.
producing in us. That is the way it works for me too. If I feel sad, or if I feel some fear, I don't know. I think that that thought is limiting me. Then I start to looking for something that gives me happiness and makes me feel more motivated. That is the way I can define if that thought is limiting me or not. Same way as you told, Anderson. Thank you. And you, Camila.
I guess I agree with Pedro when he said about the one-on-one moments with ourselves. This could be something that we can discover a lot of things. And in another hand, I guess, as you said, Marcus, when you have a big challenge, you had to learn how to say something, and then you don't have another option. And I guess when we don't have a plan B, we need to just do whatever we want or whatever we can do in that period. So, and this could be a good example because every time that you achieve a different level in a big challenge, you become better, I guess. You trust yourself more, and then you feel confident, and maybe you know yourself better. So, I guess I always said here, we can only find happiness in the bad moments because we have to go through this. And I was reading a book before the immersion. I will put here, the guys, the quote. I guess this is this makes sense what I want to say it about. Maybe the others don't believe in yourself, and then you just agree with that. So I guess it's a good one. So just remember here. Thank you.
Great. Anyone that suggests to me to do less is either not a real friend or very confused.
Good one, right?
Great. Great. Even though sometimes I think we need to do
Yeah.
less, but
Yes.
not when we are not to run for a fight, not to
Mhm.
run for a challenge. Great so quote. Thanks for sharing. Anderson, can you read and answer the question number 3, please?
Yes. Have you ever overcome a limiting belief? How did you do it? Well, yes. Yes, I overcome a limited belief uh, when I changed my work because I started my professional career in the public sector, and during the years I I I have not developing my skill, my acknowledgement. I I have my in my comfort zone, and during the pandemic period, I have the opportunity to change my job for a private sector. For me, this was the difficult decision because I had stability, I or else, but I changed my job. I started with trainee in the private sector. I'm like this change. Currently, I am a I am a senior position in my company, and that's it. That's was my experience about the limited belief.
Great. And you, Pedro?
All right. So I remember when now I am trainee also also Anderson started and I am trainee in a banking area and for this my first trainees I remember I perceived like that was a real big challenge and I remember when I passed to I'm not in Itaú but I am in Sicredi but when I passed for the next phase for Itaú, oh my god guys, in my mind I was not believe like oh my god I passed it because I passed it yet last year and I believe like it was the big numbers of candidates like I don't know how to say this number in English guys but 100 mil inscritos so much people when I passed it and when I had to present my case I saw like all the things I had to do and for be honest is something that I believe like I overcome too much and I don't and I didn't had the good presentation because it's so much pressure guys when you had a good opportunity and you had to deal with like anxious and things like that and I believe like that it limited myself like to do the presentation. I remember when I had to answer some questions, real simple, but for be anxious and things like that, I remember I could answer like in the perfect way. But it's some mistakes that we made in our life. It's important to understand and know how you can to handle these situations like because life is not perfect. Uh, that was gonna be a real good if he is, but it's not be a perfect. You have to be past moments that you put more pressure. You have to bring results in your enterprise, and if you don't do that, you other people will uh, demand that for you. So I believe like it was a situation that don't be, I'm not I it was a mistake but with that I could learning a new lessons about that like how I can deal with these feelings.
Great. Sometimes is just this. Learning how to deal with the fear, with these hard feelings. And that's it. That's great point of view, Pedro. Thank you for sharing. And you, Camila?
I guess I can share an example about English because in the company that I work at, I am in a SAP project nowadays. And when I started in this career, no one told me that I would. Of course, I know that I know we sometimes we have some meetings in English, but no one told me that I need to speak to them to try to solve problems. So one day I decided to call to a person in US just to try to, I don't know, to understand the process there and was really good for me because I give you the feedback to my boss like, oh, I solved that problem because I call someone and then she helped me with this. So I guess my boss doesn't expect me do this was like something that I decided to do. I don't know, guys. I played soccer when I was a kid, and I always heard that in soccer we need to anticipate ourselves and don't wait to the ball. I guess because you boys
Yeah.
play more than me, and I guess this could be something really good when you try to put yourself in front of a challenge and don't wait for another to try to help you. So even in English, sometimes we are here, we are learning, but I guess we need to be understandable And this was what happened in the company. I was there. I talked to the girl like, I am new here. I need to understand the process. So I remember this challenge that I overcome was really good.
Great. I love story stories from sports. Sports has too much to teach us.
Yes.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch a TV series on Netflix. The name is Playbook. In
No.
Portuguese is Regras para a Vida. That is a TV series that that there are from there are 5 episodes, each one with a different coach,
Wow.
and they share their lessons through their leadership lessons through their career. And in one of the episodes that is with a doc. I don't remember the full name of this coach is a basketball coach from NBA, and one of his lessons is finish the run. And he told that he learned this with his father, and when he was a kid, and his father told him, always finish the run. If you are there, finish the run, and he bring this to his life, and something like that. Anticipate for the ball, be there. You have something to do. You have an issue to deal with in your job. Finish the run. Call the call to someone who can help you, but it's in English, no problem at all. If this person can help you, then she will help you. Language will not be a barrier. Great for sharing. Yeah, now I need to share my story. I share the story of selling, learning to sell, and there are another one, and that is about English too. There was a moment in my life that I was sure that I could speak English. No, I'm fluently, I can speak. Then I had the opportunity to go to the US to study for a month. Then I froze. Every time I had to open my mouth to talk to someone with classmates, I got myself frozen. Okay, I don't, I can't speak, and that put me afraid because I was studying English for a while, and then I realized, okay, if after this time I'm in the situation where I can't speak, so I will not learn how to, and then I need to change my plans, my goals. Then I come back home and thought a little bit about this, and no, I will finish this run. I will not change a plan until I try everything I can. I will change what I'm doing, and I will succeed in this. I'm in the journey, but we are here talking in English, much more than I could do a year later in my lecture in the US. So that is the way that that works that works for me. Failure is not an option. Finish the run. So finds I I put myself in a situation where I have to find alternatives, different ways to try to be successful, to succeed in that task. So, and as I told you, tons of time, Camila probably has listened this from my sides. Talk and Talk is helping me a lot in this task, because the opportunity to be here every week, speaking, practicing, is giving me the opportunity to succeed in this goal. Okay, guys, let's move on. 6:42. Question number 4. Do you think our upbringing influences the way we see our own potential, and why? Yes, I will start this one. As we told at the beginning, in fact, I truly believe that the environment really influences us, and our family, our education, our parents, our siblings, our friends from childhood, all of this influence the way we see ourselves. But there are moments when we have to cut this line. Okay, I listen a lot. Now I need to give me the chance to have my own thoughts, my own beliefs, my own doubts about myself, and find the answer. So yes, I truly believe that this upbringing, that what we came with us since the childhood, and in fact, for all our lives, every conversation has the potential to influence us. But as adults, we can trial what is good, even we don't like, but is a fact, and is giving us the opportunity to see an issue, and when we can work on and improve ourselves, and we should separate what the thoughts or comments that don't brings us, that don't really define ourselves. Okay, you think this about me, but this is not what I am. So okay, I will listen this, but I will forget in the upcoming seconds, and I will move on. And you, Camila,
I
do you
totally,
think?
I totally agree with you, Marcos, about the environment and other things that sometimes we cannot see when we are. I heard something, I guess, yesterday on Twitter about a guy who is living here in Brazil and now he lives abroad, but he said the conversation with his friends was about the guy was selling drugs, was becoming bigger inside the community here in Brazil. And then was this kind of conversation here. And then when he changed to live abroad, the conversations around with his colleagues was about, oh, look, someone got a beautiful car, got is becoming better in his job. And he said he's a Brazilian guy, and he said maybe you think someone is really good in something because the environment say it's to you like in this community this guy is the best because he's selling drugs and becoming bigger. But he changed the environment and now he can see different things. So it was so good to see a Brazilian guy saying this. He lives in a community. So for me, it's a good example. Sometimes we don't see I don't know, higher because we are so loud and we don't have so much motivational around us. So I think I totally agree with you. I always said that we need to be around clever people in the table because we can learn from them. So I totally agree with that. We can always learn something. I agree with this.
And you, Pedro?
All right, guys. I remember some famous phrase like, tell me who are your friends and I will tell who you are. Like, I believe like it's a famous phrase and it's I don't remember how philosopher says that. Who's I believe like Socrates, but I'm not certain about that. But all right, guys, it's a really important like the environment that you frequent and you are in the daily routine because all right, if it's like I said before, it's important to have your moments one on one. But when you are having contact with other peoples that bring you to down and they just saying bad things, that influence yourselves, guys. I know I have some phase, have some people that doesn't affect too much about the environment, about the this kind of influence, but it is a totally difficult. It's a very difficult not be influenced about these people. So with that, I believe like for example, when I decided not to drink more alcohol, principle I try to keep it the same place that I go, but with time I perceive like oh my gosh, that doesn't make any sense for me anymore because the histories is the same and things like that, and the for my goals of life, I believe like oh my god, hey, all right, sometimes I could go just be more to have a socialization with people because it's important too, but sometimes I don't frequent like the with the same with the same taste that I had it before.
It's interesting. Growth sometimes means that we need to leave some things that were important for us in the past, but we need to leave them in the past. It's hard to learn this, but that means group. And you, Anderson?
Yes, I think uh, that our upbringing influence the way we see our potential. I think the socioeconomic and the cultural factors influence this. For me, it is important the access to good education, good resource. Uh, it might be interesting have working about emotional intelligence maybe. Uh, I think that in the education process, the the emotional safety can help the person in the future. Uh, that's it.
Great. Camila, can you choose the next question? Maybe we have time for just one or maybe two.
Okay. I will continue with the number 5, okay?
Great.
What's a fear that has held you back from take actions? I guess in my case was lack of lack of beliefs, maybe. Not beliefs, sorry. Lack of self-esteem, maybe, or confident. Sorry, is the word confident. Lack of confidence. because sometimes we always think the others is better than us. The grass is greener in the other side, and then we don't believe in ourselves. Then, as you said, Marcos, I love your example about start to selling something and your goals like with fears, but you decide to do it because this was the only option in that period. So I don't feel afraid of work. I guess we can work from, I could work as a driver if I need it here in São Paulo. So I guess we need to, I don't know, believe in ourselves better. I can share about English, for example. This was something impossible in my family because no one speaks another language and no one has a degree. I was the first one. So I guess this could be something that you can motivate the others to do something. You are not the smarter in the family. You're just a person who studied for that. So I would share this about English and about confident.
Great. And you, Anderson?
Well, today my main limits belief is English study. Uh, I think this for me the difficult is the comparison with the other person about my English skill. I think that is also it's to think that it's far from getting good in English. But I am trying. I'm trying to expose to study with frequently. That's it.
And you, Pedro?
All righty. It's not, I did the action, but I remember, but I needed some push from my parents because when I saw like I passed in a federal university and I had to move for other city, I just don't believe it, and it was a mix of feelings like fear, anxious, and things like that. And if that, like, I looked to my mother and I said to her, "Mother, I passed in university, and now what I had to do, like, I was completely lost." And he said, "No, you will go, just that." And with that, with this push, I could handle with the situation. And thanks of God, it was a very good experience.
Great. For me, was the fear of failure. But it's hard because we don't learn that failing could be good. In fact, today I think that failing is the only way to learn new things, to learn different approach to deal with something we know or we don't know, in fact. But as kids, in my case, when I was a kid, my parents didn't teach me to fail. In fact, it was the opposite. Oh, you made this wrong, you will be punished. So as an adult, I was afraid about failure. But failure is part of trying different things, trying new things. If you are not failing, you are just acting in your comfort zone. Or you are giving, or in other hand, you are just giving luck, having having a good day. But probably you are just playing safe. And when you play safe, you don't learn new things. And for me today, it's very, very, very important to learn new things. I'm eager for knowledge. I'm eager for learn the same thing in different ways so I can try different approaches to the same issue, to the same projects, so I can talk about why one approach is better than another one, why in this specific context this approach can give us a better result than another one. So and the only way to learn this or to achieve this point is failing. So in the past, when I was living this fear of failure, I realized myself as someone who was looking for to be in the comfort zone. And now I get myself free of this fear, and life has so many other colors, and has too much more fun. Guys, 6:58. Thank you so much for this conversation. I hope you enjoyed this immersion as much as I did. I shared the link of the survey in the chat, and I would thank you all if you can answer and give me any feedback and suggestion about themes or anything you think I should improve, I should bring it to these immersions to make them more enjoyable.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcos. I love it.
Bye-bye. Thank
See you
you.
guys.
Bye, Mark.
See you.
Bye.